Hi everyone, welcome back to another recap video with TWT 2.5. So these recaps are actually going to be starting from the 30th of March, and I'm going to start this one off with a little bit of Emily sexiness.
Hey, Big Daddy.
Yeah, baby.
What do you say you let me ride that beard and glaze your face like a donut?
Hell yeah. Right now, let's go.
Jen was spotted first thing in the morning at the liquor store with no children by her side by a follower who also lives in Edmonton. And we all had a giggle when a picture of Holly and her ex-boyfriend Colton turned up in a meme for a full-time mummy starter pack. Speculation was made that maybe Summer was pregnant because of this comment that she left on one of Sierra's posts. Now, obviously, if she was pregnant at the time, we would know by now, but I think a lot of people just interpreted the post differently. An article was sent in about Sierra Satterfield and some of the people that she dated in the past before she was with Corey. One of these people was actually Crystal's brother, so he's the one that's pictured in the hospital with Zyla. And the other guy, of course, is Colin, who she made the sex tape with. But check out some of the posts that were shared in this article because some of it did not age well.
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But forget you. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't afford a Ferrari, but that don't mean I can't get you there. I guess he's an Xbox and I'm more an Atari. But the way you play your game ain't fair.
Jen claimed that the reason why she didn't have Emery with her is because she was in quarantine, so she was staying with Spencer. And some people weren't sure if that was actually the case or maybe there was yet another custody dispute happening because obviously for a long time there when Jen and Spencer weren't together, Jen was still trying to keep up the facade that they were still together. Brittany posted this picture in her story saying that Drake needed to get a paternity test because they both have dark hair and their child has light hair. And someone obviously called her out because Drake's mum actually is blonde and has blue eyes. We also touched on the whole Ivy, Nick and Hannah mess. So basically before Ivy was with Atreyu, she was with a guy named Nick and she was due to get married. And her best friend, also maid of honour, Hannah, who was also married, was actually sleeping with Nick. So Ivy found text messages on their phone like the day after they sent out the wedding invitations and obviously she broke up with him. Hannah's still with her husband, so God knows what he's thinking because apparently she used to do this all the time. But, I mean, obviously it worked out for the best. There was also a bit of a debate on the page about who Kesme's real dad is. So, obviously all of us we've always thought that it was Adam because she did announce a pregnancy with Adam initially. And of course, there are pictures floating around where they do look a lot alike. But according to Adam, he's actually had a paternity test done and he was not the father of Kesme. And, you know, Ivy, at the time, she was only sleeping with Nick and Adam. So if it wasn't Adam, it has to be Nick's. But there was never actually a DNA test done to prove that she was Nick's, just that she wasn't Adam's. But I mean, take it as you will, there are a lot of people that will only ever believe that she is Adam's baby because they do look a lot alike in these pictures. But, you know, I have posted pictures of Ivy as a baby and her and Kesme are like twins. But I mean, you know, Adam could have made up that he had the DNA test. I guess we will never know. There was also a discussion about Emery and how perhaps she has been delayed because of the time that she has spent in the bouncer. So we see her pictured in the bouncer all the time, even for feedings. But since being with Spencer, things seem to have really turned around. One of Julia's followers sent in a picture of her posing by, like, I think it was like maybe a cattle fence or something like that. And they suspected that maybe she was using Photoshop. But, I mean, if you look at the fence, it looks like someone maybe has backed into it. Some people in the comments were saying that you couldn't see these dints in other pictures, but it doesn't look like, you know, a bend from a Photoshop. It actually does look like the fence had been like backed into or had taken some sort of substantial damage. So Caitlin posted this picture of herself in a very skimpy outfit, and, you know, a lot of people were kind of like, this doesn't fit the narrative of, you know, Caitlin talks about how she has anxiety and, you know, she has issues with how her belly button looks and her mum bod, and it's really hard to gauge with Caitlin because sometimes she's saying that she's, you know, really insecure and stuff, and then other times she's like parading around half naked. So I just, like, it's hard to know where she's sitting at. And that is all for that recap video. I'm going to leave you guys with this article that was sent in about MLMs and stay-at-home mums, and I will catch you on Instagram at TWT 2.5.
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be with you. Ain't that some shit? And all the